Imagine a world where life flowed in reverse, where instead of growing older, people grew younger with every passing year. At first glance, it might seem like a blessing. Wrinkled skin would smooth, aching joints would heal, memories would grow sharper. Yet, beneath this illusion of perfection, the truth was far more disturbing. Society had long since adapted to this reversal. Hospitals weren't filled with dying elders but with newborns who vanished into nothingness as their clocks ran out. Cemeteries were for infants, not the old. Parents cared for children who grew into adults only to be taken back into cribs and silence. The government tightly controlled records of time, ensuring every citizen knew exactly how many years of youth they had left. Elias, a historian, had always been obsessed with the old world, the one where people aged forward. He studied fragile documents describing the natural passage of time. Babies growing into adults, then elders, then death. To most, this was a myth, a rumor passed down to frighten or amuse. But Elias couldn't shake the feeling that their world was wrong. That maybe, somehow, humanity had been tricked into running backward. The truth began to unravel when he met Clara. She was unlike anyone else. While most were slipping into younger years, Clara claimed she had stopped. She wasn't aging backward. She wasn't aging at all. Her hair didn't grow darker, her skin didn't tighten. She stayed exactly the same, trapped in a body the cycle had abandoned. She whispered to Elias that she knew why. She led him to a hidden chamber deep beneath the capital city, where massive machines hummed, feeding off streams of glowing blue liquid. Clara explained that centuries ago, humanity had tampered with time itself, harnessing its flow to avoid sickness, war, and decay. But the experiment went wrong. Instead of granting eternal life, it reversed the natural order, turning existence upside down. Now, every human was bound to this reversal, a prisoner of the broken timeline. Elias struggled to comprehend it. If this was true, then life as they knew it wasn't natural at all. But before he could question further, Clara revealed something more chilling. The machines weren't self-sustaining. They required energy, and that energy came from the people themselves. Each reversed year, each step back toward nothingness, fed the system, keeping the machinery alive. Humans weren't just living in reverse, they were fueling the very prison that trapped them. The revelation left Elias shaken, but Clara wasn't finished. She had discovered a way to stop it. Deep within the machine was a control core, a place where time could be set free again. Destroy it, and the backward cycle would collapse. But there was a cost. Every life tied to the system would unravel instantly. No one knew what would come after, perhaps normal aging, perhaps death, perhaps nothing at all. As Elias stood before the humming machinery, he faced an impossible choice. If he did nothing, humanity would continue its backward march into oblivion, children vanishing into dust. If he destroyed the system, he might condemn them all to chaos, or perhaps, for the first time in centuries, grant them freedom. Clara urged him to act, her eyes shining with desperate hope. He made his decision. With trembling hands, he pulled the lever and tore the machine apart. For an instant, the world froze. Silence hung heavy, and Elias felt himself collapse, unsure if he had saved or doomed them. But then, slowly, the flow shifted. He felt his body change, not backward, not forward, but still. Around him, people gasped as their aging halted. Some wept, others stared in awe. For the first time in generations, time belonged to them again. But as the relief spread, Elias noticed something horrifying. Clara was gone. Where she had stood, only dust remained, drifting into the stale air. She had never been free of the cycle. She had been its anchor, the anomaly that held the system in place. Her sacrifice had been the price of liberation. The world had been given back its future. But Elias alone carried the weight of knowing that freedom had cost the existence of the one person who understood him. And as he stared at the place where Clara had vanished, he realized the cruelest truth of all. Time had not been their enemy. It had only been waiting for them to respect it again. Do you want me to also create 10 illustration prompts for this people aged backwards story, in the same hand-drawn on old paper style as before, so it works as a storyboard?